At the beginning of the film, a boy named Shui and his father are fishing in a river. But then he feels someone calling his name. Suddenly, his father calls him and asks him to help him. When he tells his father about his fear and the horrifying legend about the monster in the river, he advises him not to worry about the baseless rumors. Then, his father jumps into the water to catch fish. After a while, he comes out, but no fish was found. Then suddenly, Shui sees something moving in the water. He immediately tells his father about this. But the next moment, the monster attacks his boat from below. Due to this, both of them fell into the water. But Shui got into the boat with the help of his father. The monster then kills Shu's father with its tail. It tries to climb on top of the boat to kill Shui, but somehow he survives. 10 years later, Shui is now all grown up. He lives with the people of his town. Village chief Dame congratulates a man named Tai Trang for catching a fish. The village elder who came there then said that the ancestors said that if you see such a fish you should not take it, because he believed there was definitely a monster in the river. But he didn't believe what he said. In that village, we meet a girl named Lan, who lives with her father and younger brother. Shui loves her, but he is afraid of Lan's father, and he tells him to stay away from his daughter. Immediately a man ran to the village and announced that a man had died in the river. When they went there, they saw that the body of the deceased was in a very bad condition and the head was missing. The old man reminds them of the story of the monster killing people 10 years ago. It comes back and spares no one, killing them all one by one. Hearing this, the village chief asks the old man what they can do, and the old man says that 10 years ago, a princess named Hong Ho made a sacrifice to ward off the monster and must do it again. Then Lan's father comes there and gets angry and tells him to sacrifice the old man instead of trusting the old man. Shui runs away from the scene and finds Lan's brother by the river trying to catch a duck and tells him to go home, but he doesn't listen to him. The monster grabs the duck that he tries to catch. Shui goes to tell Lan not to do laundry near water because it's dangerous. He tries to convince her to leave the village with him, but when her father arrives, he runs and hides. The father asks where her brother Luke Chin is. Lan goes to find him in the forest, while her brother chases a duck that has been dragged into the water. He goes into the water looking for a duck but finds a tail instead. But far away he sees something in the water. In the next scene, many people start looking for him in the forest in the evening. Shui finds his friend staring into the water, and he notices Lan's brother body in the water. The old man comes to the scene and remembers what he said to the village chief and starts crying. In the next scene, the villagers pay tribute. Meanwhile, Lan's father arrives there, and he kicks and breaks all the things placed there. The old man is enraged and calls others to drag him out, and he prays to appease the monster. Now when the old man and the village chief were talking, then an explosion is heard. They quickly go to the river bank. There they arrive and see Lan's father. To kill the monster, he throws bombs into the water. The villagers shouted to stop doing this. He immediately asked him to come out, but he doesn't listen to anyone. Instead, he starts getting angry with the villagers. As a result, the villagers forcibly caught him and tied him to a pole. Lan brings food to her father and the village chief advises her father to stop making trouble for her. Shui then meets Lan's father and convinces him to leave the water monster. But he calls him a coward for forgetting that killed his father. That night Lan's father hears footsteps, the water monster climbs the building, and the water monster whispers his name. Descended from the roof and cut off his head. In the next scene, Lan brings food to her father, only to see his head cut off and screams. The old man then tells the village chief that the sacrifice cannot be postponed any longer. The people agree, but they all wonder who will be sacrificed, and the old man advises Lan to sacrifice. But Shui refused. Lan arrives and offers to sacrifice, but Shui tries to convince them not to sacrifice Lan, but the people take him away. The old man tells her to lock her in the firewood room and says that the yigya will take place in 3 days. In the next scene, Shui and Lan are locked in an adjoining room. She asks him to forget her. Shui decides to hunt the monster. He creates various devices to fight the monster. Apart from that, he also places traps in his house, so he can capture the monster. He was doing all this with the help of his friend. He then goes to ask for help from another friend of his, Bon Bon. He takes them to a boat that they can use to catch the monster. Also, since he needs some people to support him, Bon Bon calls his friends to support Shui. In the next scene, people gather around the river bank to sacrifice the Lan, which is taken into the river in a boat. Lan had a knife as well. She therefore desires villagers to kill the monster, and Shui and his friends arrive there in a boat. He claims to have come to save Lan and informs the people that the creature is a cannibal and not a god, and that it has to be killed. He invites others to fight the monster with him. Some decide to join him. In the next scene they are all on the boat preparing to catch the monster. Later in the day, a man begins to complain that he has been waiting all day and failed to get nothing. However, Bon Bon tells him to wait. The chain starts moving in the water and they pull it, but find nothing. When one of the group members dove into the water to look for the monster, the creature pulled him down and killed him. Later, monster flies off and grabs another person, but Shui throws a trident at it, but the monster block it and it kill the person. Shui continues to swing his trident. Therefore, it ran away. The monster tries to capture Lan, but Shui attacks it and it falls into the boat. They all throw their weapons at it, but it blocks it. They try to trap it, but it escapes. Later that night, Ban Ban and a guy decide to leave, but Shui warns them against doing so because the monster already knows who they are. The man runs away from the place. He began to flee after hearing a terrifying noise outside, but the creature killed him. The monster then proceeds to kill the rest. It attacks the man, but it finds a decoy man made of straw. They immediately locked the monster inside and threw several weapons at it. It tries to escape but gets injured. Then comes Shui, and he strikes it with arrows. And then when the monster reaches the right place, he then locks it in a cage. In the next scene the village chief and the villagers see the monster that Shui has brought to them. The old man comes and says don't disrespect the monster as it will kill everyone. The village chief tells them to rest and in the morning they will decide what to do with the monster. Everyone then celebrates. They were happy. Shui, on the other hand, proposes to Lan. She agrees to do so. A wide-eyed old man near the cage. The monster now finds himself out of the cage, looking back. So the monster was in front of him and moving towards him, tearing his body in two. All the villagers were completely intoxicated. Taking advantage of it, the monster kills everyone and starts eating them. A friend of Shui fights the monster. However, the creature tears apart his stomach, ultimately taking his life. Next morning, there was a sad atmosphere in the entire village. Because there were corpses everywhere, Shui and all the villagers were very angry. Thus, they all decide that now we will kill the monster together. Shui goes with his people to the river bank to fight the monster. But he goes alone in the water. He goes in and sees the monster in the water. But the monster pushes him out of the water. The boatmen immediately pull the boat back to the boat as the monster follows them. The monster starts attacking humans. It killed everyone on the boat. Shui pokes it several times but it pushes him away. The monster goes to attack Lan but Shui stabs the monster with it and finally, he breaks out the monster's eyes. But both jump into the water. But then we see Shui coming out, taking the monster's severed head with him. All the villagers were impatiently waiting for him to come out. Shui sees his friends and family among the villagers. The story of the film ends with this. Thanks for watching.